Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to a kind of special video, since this is actually a filler video since my previous series did end. So currently we are in our Tirpitz. We are currently playing on estuaries. We have a Independence, 2 Tirpitz, Nagato, New Mexico, Bayonne, Edinburgh, ARP, Takao, Kutuzov, 2 Atlantis, a Benson. On the enemy team there is a Independence, North Carolina, Tirpitz, Gneisenau, Dunkirk, Fuso, New Orleans, Mogami, Chapayev, Pensacola, York, and Benson. And I really did want to show off this replay because, 1, it was pretty epic. 2, it made me very rich very quickly, as you will see the post screens. But I don't want to spoil too much because it's more fun if you guys actually do watch the video instead of skipping all the way to the end just to see it. So I am currently joined with both Brandon and Jay. Jay's in his Tirpitz as well, and Brandon is in his Edinburgh. And one thing to point out about Brandon's Edinburgh is he's not running smoke on it, which is an interesting choice. He is actually running the radar, so very similar to how the Belfast is, where you have both the hydroacoustics and radar, so very good anti-destroyer. I did take a pop shot at the enemy Tirpitz in between the islands to get about 4,000 points of damage, but the enemy team does take out our friendly Takao, and then we also lose our Benson within the first 2 minutes of the match. And so this is not looking pretty good. Usually a team that loses their ships very early in the match, well, I don't want to say most times, but quite frequently they will lose the match. Now, it's not always a guarantee. We do at least get the Benson that did kill our friendly Benson, but that's always something. But now there's a enemy Mogami showing me a nice, beautiful broadside. It'd be a shame if he got a Citadel. Do fire a salvo. Let's see if we can get a Citadel. Nope. 2 penetrations and over penetration. Not what I was hoping, but maybe we will see him again later. Just maybe. Now, I am taking advantage of the friendly Kutuzov's smokescreen. Might as well. And Jay is actually currently pushing into D right now. And I just now realized that Kutuzov was firing AP. I hope he switches over to HE. There he goes. Actually is switching to HE. Now the Gneisenau is also pushing in, but he's taking quite a bit of beating from I believe either Jay or even possibly the Kutuzov. Not quite certain of where he took all that amount of damage, but he's probably going to go down fairly quickly. I do open fire on the enemy Gneisenau, and I'm pulling out of that smoke screen because Jay just informed me that he was actually going to start pushing in, and we'll see how Jay does. He does decently well, to say the very least. Now, the enemy Tirpitz is also pushing in as well, and he is currently focused on Jay and his Tirpitz, and that's going to allow me to at least catch his bright side, and I am firing fairly slow pace just in case my guns are going to get or else better yet, I'm going to start shelling the island. Did not want to lose any of my shells there. Now, RNG, for whatever reason, was loving to me in this match. As you will see, as you just saw actually, the salvo I just fired was fairly tight. Now, Jay does go down to the enemy Tirpitz, but at the same time, the enemy Tirpitz does ground himself and does dodge all of Jay's torpedoes, which is unfortunate. Now, we are coming under fire from the enemy New Orleans and possibly even the Mogami. Now, one little side note is that they recently fixed the sinking ships, and I've seen some really weird things. And there's the Mogami again, showing me a beautiful broadside. Guns are about reloaded. See if we can help him sink to the bottom of the floor of the seafloor. And there we go. 3 citadels. Devastating strike. And torpedoes are within range. I'm going to go ahead, open fire on my torpedoes and start turning away because the Tirpitz might have torpedoes. You never know. And this Tirpitz is very low on health at the moment. But I think we should be fine on the torpedoes. So let's actually focus on this New Orleans. And here I misjudged the aim. Currently waiting just to ensure that we get at least a good hit. No citadels on the New Orleans, but we take out the enemy Tirpitz with 2 torpedoes. But we're about to beach ourselves as well. Fortunately, no one's going to be really here to punish us. The New Orleans is not focusing on us at all, but he's still showing us a broadside. Be a shame if he got a citadel. And he's very low on health. Just look at that salvo right there. And we got an unneeded citadel. Great. Oh, well, I will take that. That is actually a 3rd kill of the game. So the team's fairly well even at this point. We both have 1 cap each, and we are actually 1 ship ahead of the enemy team. They have 5 while we have 6, which is good all the same. Now, the friendlies on the east side, they're not doing, or sorry, friendlies on the west side are not doing so well. There is a enemy, or friendly New Mexico, better yet, he is actually a friend, is actually currently firing HE. From what I heard from both Jay and Brandon, they did take a look for me. So, New Mexico's, and I mean, it's not a bad choice because, well, the Fuso is actually fairly broadside, and he's also beached. And if I remember correctly, the New Mexico did miss quite a few salvos at a beached Fuso. Yeah. So we do see there is the Fuso, the Chapayev, the York, and the Dunkirk. Now Brandon is actually still alive in his Edinburgh. He did have to sit back, obviously, since he does not have smokescreen and cannot take full advantage of that. Now, Brandon is currently moving in between the islands, heading towards C. We have captured D. So we're going to have at least a points advantage for the time being. But we actually are only about 16 points ahead of the enemy team. We did just lose our New Mexico, and we're probably going to lose this Atlanta fairly quickly. Now, one person I probably want to say to keep an eye on is the enemy Chapayev. That little pain in my butt. You'll see what I mean in just a little bit. Currently, we are moving towards C. Not really much is going to happen right now. The Dunkirk is probably my closest target. But he's currently angled, so yeah, I mean, it's debatable whether or not I should have fired at him, but I'm kind of wanting to take the Chapayev out because the Chapayev is actually a good ship, firing off the HE, and I will have to say I was really hoping he would come straight across this island, but Brandon opens fires, and he's actually going to start turning away, so I'm going to try to see if I can land a salvo on him. I'm going to bet he's probably going to turn south if possible. So I do kind of lead him, and I fire a salvo. We might get lucky. You never know. We might get lucky. So the Dunkirk is an interesting Dunkirk. Oh, we did get a Citadel on the Chapayev, which has taken at least down 16,000 points. Something like that. Now the Dunkirk is currently firing HE. The Dunkirk has pretty big guns. And firing AP probably would have taken out my friend Brandon in his Edinburgh, but he doesn't. And we open salvo, we get 2 penetrations to about 7,500 points of damage. Not bad. And here I'm actually discussing with Brandon that he does not have his smoke. I know I keep berating him, but if he can, it does work because it's a great anti-destroyer ship because you have both hydroacoustics and you have radar. Now, the Dunkirk does go down, but we did get a Citadel, and I will have to say that's probably my first Citadel on a Dunkirk that I've ever had. And RNGesus was not kind to me there, because this Dunkirk is just selling broadside and fires a salvo of HE, and you see the amount of damage HE actually did towards me. Very, very minimal. But we do take out the enemy Dunkirk, which is our 4th kill of the game. Very, very nice. And here's the Chapayev. Now, the Chapayev has very poor armor. Very poor armor. And If he shows me a broadside, I could very easily penetrate it and get a citadel. But right there, you get a penetration with no damage. And you can see the very dangerous aspect of the Russian cruiser is their high explosive is pretty good. Does not have the high percentage as the Japanese cruiser line, but they have that very quick reload on their guns since they are currently firing 152 millimeters all the way up to, well, the Chapayev, obviously. Now, we are down one ship, and they are currently working on capping, or not currently capping, sorry. We are currently working on capping C. So we have at least the points advantage. Now our carrier is kind of off by himself, and he looks like he's getting harassed by the enemy CV with their fighters. Now we are hoping, at least I am hoping, better yet, to take out this Chapayev. He is what I consider the more important and dangerous threat, even compared to the, I mean, granted the Fuso could do very significant damage to me if I do show up broadside, but I'm not really that scared of him. Now we are currently spotted by the enemy CV. He is currently spotting us with his fighters, and I am thinking, this is what I was thinking at this time, that the Chapayev would try to torp me. Now granted, I am full health, and I don't think a Chapayev torp drop would actually kill me, but still would prefer not to lose that much health. Now the enemy CV does come in to drop dive bombers on me. Do knock out two planes, it looks like, but he does get a fire, but we do have damage control. And I'm also a battleship, so there's a Chapayev, and yeah, I'm gonna hold off on that damage control. I could always repair that fire. Now, like I said, the Chapayev is my main concern. I don't know why I have such a fascination on him, but he is what I consider probably the more dangerous threat. Now, the Independence does pop in view, and I believe we were discussing who to go for, either the York or this Independence, and let's see if we can get a salvo. Not bad. Did over 10,000 points of damage on that Independence, and we do earn high caliber and Confederate. Very, very nice. Now, I probably should have actually just focused on this York, because this York is currently going after our friendly CV, and I believe the enemy CV has basically taken control of the air and has kept our friendly CV out of action. So, essentially, he's just a floating point ship, if that made sense. Now the Chapayev does show back up, and I'm really wanting him to turn. If he just turned, I could probably easily take him out with one citadel, but he continues sailing north, and I'm gonna have to just fire, and my shot kind of goes off. He does dodge all my shots, which is unfortunate. Well, that was not the greatest salvo in the world, but we're still ahead. The enemy team is currently taking B, and we are currently being spotted by the enemy Independence, and it looks like the enemy Independence is sending his dive bombers back in. Now, I was actually surprised that there are no torpedo planes that the enemy carrier has. He just looks like he has dive bombers, and that's about it. We do shoot down 2 more planes. That's very nice. Tirpitz AA is not the greatest. I go ahead and launch my fighter because I know that will draw in the enemy CV's fighters, and I'm hoping to at least take a few out. But both me and the Nagato, pretty certain it's a Nagato, we are currently moving to A, and we're going to see if we can take it back. Now, we do know from seeing the map that the Chapayev is actually currently moving into C. And I'm kind of hoping right now that we will be able to catch the Independence, but the Independence is actually a fairly quick ship. Come to realize that he's actually made it fairly far north, and he's not going to be a major threat. Now the Fuso does turn around and come around to face me, and here's the Chapayev opening fire. Like I said, I really want him dead because I can take care of the Fuso. Fuso, not that overly concerned about him. Chapayev does show us a broadside, but I think our salvo is going to miss. He does catch us on fire. We do land 2 shells on the Chapayev, but over penetration, so did not do that large amount of damage. But look at our damage we've done. 169,000 right now. But we're not done. Oh no, we're not done. There is the enemy Fuso, and he's not firing. And I don't exactly know why he has not fired. He hasn't fired at me once since the beginning of the battle. Even though he was running away, he could still have open fired, especially if he fired HE. Probably could have at least caught me on fire and possibly done some serious damage. Now, right here, I am doing a very dangerous maneuver. I'm actually going to switch my attention to the Chapayev. It looks like the Fuso did land a salvo on us. It looks like that's the first time he's ever done that. And the enemy CV has actually earned clear sky, so he does have major control of the air. And there's the salvo I was concerned about. Yes, we take a decent hit from the Fuso, but I still have 2 heals, and my first heal is going to be coming up here in about a second, so we should be fine. Now, the Chapayev was in C last time we saw him. And I'm still concerned that he's actually going to try to torp me, so I'm actually going to start peeling away into B. And this is going to lead me towards the Fuso as well. That's something to keep in mind. And here I'm going to fire torpedoes. Nothing will come out of this. You know, I won't need those torpedoes anytime soon. Well, there's the Chapayev. RNGesus, be kind to me. Salvos away. 1 Citadel is all I need. And we get Kraken Unleashed. Very, very nice. Now, teams are fairly even, and there is the Fuso. Now, remember, I fired my starboard torpedoes. And they are currently reloading, and it's going to be another 57 seconds on the reload. And this Fuso is just showing me a broadside. But oh, no Citadel. No Citadel. Now, right now, I have an option. I can turn to starboard and fire off my port side. But if I do that, his guns are about reloaded. And oh, I can start turning now. Now, I do have to be concerned that he is going to try to ram me. That would be a very good choice if they want to win, but he's just too far back and he's too slow. So torpedoes away, and we get kill number 6. Very nice. Very nice. Our team is in the lead. We've taken B. They're currently working on D. But look at the time. It is a little over a minute till the end of the battle. And I am thirsty for blood. I would want to get kill number 7. The most amount of kills I've ever got in a battle was 7. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get 8 since obviously we're almost out of time. But maybe I can get another kill. Get my 7th kill. Get me actually over 200,000 points of damage, because right now we're sitting at 199,352 points of damage. And it would be fantastic if we actually got over 200,000 points of damage. That would be superb. So our team has actually captured B, and there is the enemy York, and look at the time. We have 15 seconds, and I'm just running. I'm like talking to both Jay and Brandon. Like, oh, I gotta get the shot, There's the York, so low on health. 1 good salvo should kill him. And I'm actually gonna start to slow this up because look at the time, 2 seconds. There he is, bringing down the guns, firing the salvo. Salvo's away. And can we get the kill? We do land a salvo on the York, but unfortunately, we did not get the kill. So we earned a victory in our Tirpitz, and look at the amount of credits I just received. 1,035,491. Keep in mind that I was not going for a there was no contest occurring. But I will show you the final results after, or the credits and XP in just a little bit. But we earned 10,792 XP and 543 XP. We got Fireproof, Confederate, Dreadnought, Kraken Unleash, Devastating Strike, and High Caliber. Final damage was 201,672. 61 hits, 4 torpedoes, 8 planes shot down, 2 incapacitations, 6 kills, 2 fires, 2 floods, 7 citadels, 4 defended base caps, 2 captured bases, and 1 assisted base capture, and 34 secondary hits. And of course, we got top of the team with a base XP of 3,509. So unfortunately, I don't have the detailed report for you guys, but so as you can see, we received 828,392 silver. We did have a modifier, at least 2 of them. We had a flag and I believe a camo. I think we actually had 2 flags on. And we got additional 207,099 silver. After everything was spent, we received 919,561. So yes, this was a very profitable game for me, and it was very fun. It was very exciting. So this is actually going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jin.